Daniel, thanks for coming on Off the Bench Radio and having us out tonight. How we doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. Pretty good opportunity here. So
appreciate that. So, obviously, like we mentioned before the last break there, Coach Harvey coming into his second season as the head coach here at Rhea County. So, obviously, we see right here on the field, the 11 guys on each side of the ball on the gridiron, the coaches, fans in the stands. But it takes, we talked about this before the show, it takes a village, right? Whether it's raising a family or raising a football program. And obviously your booster club or your touchdown club, whatever, has a big part in that. Kind of talk about the Rhea County Touchdown Club and kind of your role with that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that it takes a lot outside of the football field to put a program together as far as pregame meals, parking, additional things that the school doesn't cover. So I recently just took over as president about a week and a half ago, so it's all kind of happened pretty quickly. But basically our main job is to raise funds for pre- and post-game meals, waters, Gatorade, stuff like that. Additional things that the school doesn't cover, like last year we needed a drone for huddle, and it was like $5,000. So the Touchdown Club did a fundraiser, and we covered the cost of that, So a lot of the stuff goes into the school account, like gate and parking and stuff like that, and that goes towards uniforms, helmets, other equipment. We basically cover all the behind the scenes stuff, food, additional equipment. So
we talk about this with Joe. Obviously, he knows the Rhea County way and how this community kind of buys in. You got great companies across this area that help support and kind of help, whether it's with support financially or just being here on any given Friday night at Bill Horton Field. Kind of talk about just the community here in Evansville and Rhea County, Dayton as a whole, and how they kind of help you guys achieve those goals you want to at the Rhea County Touchdown Club.
Yeah, we have a great community of businesses. Lazy Boy, Ray Medical Center, other sponsors, Nokian Tires. They're just really supportive. Whatever we need. They're not afraid to break out the checkbook to cover any kind of costs or anything like that, and it takes a community like this. We're a 5A school, but we're kind of a smaller town, and we kind of want to get back to the culture of, we're shutting down on Friday nights because Rhea County's playing football, like a smaller community should. But yeah, we've had such tremendous support from all of the factories, businesses, hospitals, doctors. The list just goes on, and the support's been just tremendous.
Yeah, you were talking about before we came on here. Saw the cookies and cream trailer down there. I think it's a local like bakery or like type thing. So kind of talk about because that's a thing you see more of at these high school football environments is people bringing their food trucks, coffee trucks, ice cream trucks, whatever, and to help them make it's more than a football atmosphere. It's kind of like just almost like definitely a big event type feel for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cookies and cream. We've invited him to come up this year. I've known Mike for several years. Great, really great guy. We've even wrestled with the idea of bringing in food trucks each week. Like a different one each week to kind of showcase what local businesses we do have on the food trucks, because that's a growing industry, is the food trucks.
Sure.
I actually just got a text that they're moving to the indoor facility. So,
oh, perfect. So and I was talking about it with Coach Harvey. Hopefully you don't mind me mentioning this, but we were talking before this whole thing got put together. I'm like, hey, this might be the first indoor spring scrimmage in Chattanooga high school football, Joe. This might be a historic night right here on Off the Bench Radio. Bring it to the indoor facility, and that's a great segue. Because last year, like we mentioned, we were here with the Coca-Cola Red Zone for the game against Walker Valley. We were talking about the indoor facility, right? So not many programs around here, not many programs, period, have an indoor facility. Kind of talk about what the advantage is, not just for the football program, but I'm sure the whole school uses that indoor facility at some point, don't they?
Yeah, I believe that was a mixture of fundraising and then like COVID money. Even like with the turf field, when they got the turf field in 2013, I believe, a couple years after I graduated, it was one of the first schools around here to have turf. And to even have the indoor facility is huge. A lot of times you can beat the heat with the summer. You can go inside and practice. I know other sports are using it. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a football exclusive. But even back to the local businesses supporting Rhea County football, they just announced that over the next 3 or 4 years, Lazy Boys donate like $500,000 into the school system.
That's incredible.
So I think it's going into from what I understand, I don't know if it's official or not, but football's getting a new jumbotron, baseball, softball, and basketball. That's what I've been told. I'm not sure, officially. But that's just,
they're investing into Rhea County High School and athletics.
Yeah, $500,000 over the next 3 years. That's huge.
And they actually, they actually helped partner with us last year for this event that we came and did our show from. So, like you just mentioned, they're supporting, but they also put their money where their mouth is, and knowing that, hey, the local school and the local programs need our help, and they're willing to do whatever it takes. So it goes to show kind of how tight-knit and family atmosphere that it is, not just with Lazy Boy, but across all the businesses and people that support Rhea County football and athletics.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things where it just takes so much. People don't realize it takes so much money and effort and behind-the-scenes work. Even with other teams like football and basketball, track, soccer, whatever, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see if they're not involved. It's a lot.
So we talked about cookies and cream and just the flavors of milkshakes. What's your go-to milkshake flavor?
I'm a cookies and cream guy.
Oh, man. Well, of course, the branding. I love it.
Ice cream is definitely my guilty pleasure. My wife does not like it. But
listen, there's a reason why we call this program Off the Bench, because right here, these guys right here, we're coming off the bench, no doubt about that for sure. So, it's just, it's a great environment. Joe and I kid all the time about, coming up here and, having to hear about Joe Varner's Rhea County Golden Eagles. But, hey, I remember when this turf got put in, 10-plus years ago, and coming up here, we're like, man, this is nice. You don't have to worry about mud fields, when it rains. And, like you said, obviously it does get hot down there, when it heats up and that sort of thing. But you see it in Hamilton County as well. They're starting to invest with some businesses in Hamilton County in getting those turf fields there, because it's definitely a big added benefit and bonus for any program. And Rhea County kind of set the tone there as far as public schools in our area.
Absolutely, yeah. When I graduated in 2011, and I threw shot put and disc after I'd quit football, and we didn't even have a track. We literally had to go to Cleveland, Ottawa, wherever for track meets, because we couldn't host track meets here. And even I always say the tennis courts now, they used to call it the back 40. That's where underclassmen would practice, JV football.
Okay.
But it's funny, we're talking about this, like the history of the program. I was talking to some guys earlier that we played together in school, and there's I don't know if you can see it. There's a plaque on the very corner by the gate. It's dedicated to Bill Horton, who obviously the field's named after. But every year the first practice, when I was here when Jason Fitzgerald was the coach, and every year the first practice we'd go out here, because it used to be back here, and that was like a little setup for him. But they would always just talk about the importance of what he'd done for the program. And when you're on that field, you're thinking of the foundation that Bill Horton laid for Rhea County football.
You feel it, don't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, obviously, like you said, you played here. You graduated 2011. Not much has changed, I'm sure, as far as rivals go. But when you played and when you put on the green and gold, what was the one team you wanted to beat more than anybody? Or is it just the next week? I'm sure you had to have one or two programs. You're like, okay,
Cleveland was a big one,
okay.
And then it seems like every year when I played, we played Maryville somehow in the playoffs, and it was like that was probably going to be the end of the run.
Joe, if you're listening, what was for you back in the day? Who was the big rival for you back in the Joe Varner playing days for Rhea County?
Oh, it was definitely Cleveland. Cleveland and Saudi Daisy. Those two teams, obviously, that was the time frame where Cleveland had it going. They were pretty much unstoppable. Dante Hickey and all those crazy athletes they had. So maybe it wasn't much of a rivalry, because I don't think we won any against them. But Saudi Daisy, well, yeah, definitely them. If it wasn't Cleveland, it was Saudi Daisy, and always a big rival there.
You and Daniel both helped setting the foundation for Rhea County football.
I don't know about all that now, but
well, no, agree with him.
Yeah, exactly. The one time you did agree with me about, for sure. So, well, I guess tell kind of the folks out there, anybody that kind of wants to help get involved with the Rhea County Touchdown Club, how they can do that. I think you have a Facebook page, and there's more of the kind of how to get in touch and how to donate it down the line. But as far as right now, I think it's the Facebook group, right? Yeah,
we have a Facebook page that says the Rhea County Football Touchdown Club. We're actually in the process of figuring out other ways to donate through Venmo or Cash App or whatever. We're trying to get more modern. We normally just take cash at the concession stand, so we're trying to figure out more ways to be more modern, because nobody really carries cash anymore. We do have an email. It's Rhea County or Rayco Football TD at gmail.com. So if get in touch with me, or obviously find me on Facebook, Daniel Burton, or the Facebook group. So yeah, just we're trying to get more modern with more social media. I know Coach Harvey and them guys do a really good job with the Rhea County football social media, but we're kind of I'm building a team of great people who want to. We're debating on, do we do more social media with the Touchdown Club? Do we stick with the Facebook group or Twitter or whatever? So we're it's an exploratory process.
A lot of options, a lot of tools in the belt, so to speak, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Daniel, thank you so much for coming up here. president of the Rhea County Touchdown Club. Again, you can just Google Rhea County Touchdown Club, and you'll find the Facebook page. And we put the link on the Off the Bench Twitter page earlier today. So definitely go out there, learn how they kind of what they do, and kind of help you can help give back to the Golden Eagle football program. And most importantly, tonight anyway, thank you for having us up here and allowing us to be a part of Rhea County Golden Eagle football once again in 2025. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.